Hey guys, today I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk about what Live Vulnerably has meant to me. And to do that, I have to be honest about how I've had a hard time. I just felt like there were a handful of times at least, where I sat down to film a video and Coburn and I would have discussed the topic before and talked about what it would look like and how it applied to our lives and how to share. And when I sat down and imagined an audience in front of me, I would cry because I was like, I don't feel like I have any authority. So that was interesting to me because in peeling back the layers to get to the bottom of what was happening in my own heart, I had to realize that I hadn't given myself a voice, and that went really deep. That went into when Coburn and I first started dating. I saw this beautiful vision of a relationship with him, and my heart was over here a little bit afraid, a little bit unsure. And because I believed so strongly in this, I kind of just like leapt over without allowing myself the grace or process. So there were a lot of things I had to unpack since we started Live Vulnerably about, wow, where have I not been vulnerable in my own life? Where have I not given my heart a voice? And it has run pretty deep. So it's been a little bit of a process for me actually feeling like, what do I actually have to say? And I think, so I'm standing in our bathroom right now. We live temporarily in the jungle in Haiku, and it's been amazing. And all around us is all these plants and like growth and life. And since we've been here, we've seen a lot of them grow. We've been here about 2.5 months. And so I just, like every now and then I'd come into the bathroom, and I chose to film the video in here because there's this one plant that I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn the camera in a second, where as it's growing, it's like attaching these little tiny pieces to the screen. I'm looking at it right now, and there's just these little tiny ideas, these little tiny things that are anchoring it into bigger growth. So at this point, I'm gonna show you. I hope. Let's see. Okay. So it's this plant right here. And as you can see, these little tiny pieces are what actually holds this whole thing up. And God was really talking to me through that, how I might feel like I have one little piece of something or two little pieces of something, and I can feel this huge vision, and I can feel these dreams that are enormous, but to me it's hard to imagine that these little tiny things could hold something so big up, but they do. And just looking around at these plants, I'm gonna come back to myself now. They're all kind of anchored by these little things that they were just faithful to like stick to something and then grow, trusting that that would be enough. And so that's kind of what Live Vulnerably has been for me. We have lots of vision, we have lots of dreams involved, we want to have a lot of impact, we want to share, we want to encourage other people to tell their stories, we want to really make a difference in the world and in the lives of our friends. And it's easy to look at people who already have done that, people who are already big influencers, who have millions of subscribers on YouTube and lots of followers on Instagram, and you can actually see like, oh wow, this person already has influence. But as someone who's starting, it's hard when I compare myself to that, to imagine something so big being supported by my little tiny efforts now. So for me, Live Vulnerably has been a deep look into my own heart about, what am I doing now to actually hold up the dream, and do I trust that my small actions and the little bits that I do have can actually sustain something for the future? But what it takes is actually just doing it. So I look around and I see all these plants that have grown and that have climbed the walls and that have anchored themselves with these little teeny bits of something that they have to offer, and then the growth follows. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I have right now. It's just this weird, silly little video of me hopefully putting my thoughts together enough to do something to someone in the world in a positive way. So yeah, I've been growing a lot in my confidence, and doing this project has really made me look at my own heart and my relationship with my husband, my relationship with myself, and all this healing and growth has come and it's been really hard to grow because it's uncomfortable a lot of the time, but I just want to challenge you guys today that even if it's uncomfortable and even if it seems insane, to take a tiny, tiny step to something, towards something. These plants are all here to testify that that's all it really takes. It's just the one little thing. So here's my one little thing. I hope you've enjoyed listening, and thank you for taking some time to watch this video. Also, like we've said before, we really want this to be interactive, so I would love to hear about some of the ways that you guys have grown and seen growth in your life, from your small efforts, or just seeing like, wow, when I actually stepped out and stewarded this thing in any way and like made space for something to happen, it actually did. I'd love to hear stories about that. That's so inspiring to hear from people that are maybe a little bit ahead. And I'd also like to hear from people who are like still in that process of, I have this amazing dream and I have no idea where to start. So for me, sometimes it's easier to look at someone else's dream and be like, oh wow, this is really cool. You're here and you want to be here, and I can see how you do this part. And for myself, when I look at myself and see these 2 points and I'm trying to get from point A to point B, I'm not sure what that journey looks like, but it can really help to have a third-party perspective. So I encourage you to share with us if you'd like, and with people in your lives as well. And yeah, just do something. Do, even if it's small, what you have is valuable and worthy, and the dreams that you hold inside of you and just the thoughts that excite your heart, those are beautiful and they are real and they are worthy and they are big. Even if they seem tiny, they're big enough to support something enormous. So yay, that's the end of my video, but I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and like I said, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, bye.